All right, all right. Welcome everyone to this is Cross Shield Financial's Powerful Person, Powerful Stories podcast. I am your host, Rudy Upshaw, and I am CEO and founder of Cross Shield, and I am beyond excited to have you join us for today's episode. This is episode 103, and we are doing an interview with the amazing coach, professional financial coach, Nick Bowater. And this is the podcast where we uncover the journeys of extraordinary individuals who are turning their bold dreams into reality with financial discipline, unstoppable determination, and a whole lot of heart. At CrossShield, we believe every powerful story has the potential to create life-changing impact. Today, we are turning the spotlight again on one of our own, a coach who embodies everything this podcast is about. So buckle up for a fun, inspiring, and empowering conversation with Coach Nick Bowater. So anyway, just thank you so much for attending, everyone. This is a podcast by which we're interviewing people that have exhibited a powerful person mindset, not only in their own personal lives, but also in their business lives. And so we believe every powerful story has the potential to create life-changing impact. And so, Nick, thank you so much for joining us today. And would love for you to jump in and explore kind of who you are, what you do as a financial coach, and then just really get to know you a little bit better. So welcome to the podcast, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Rudy. I like your intro. It's very cool. Very cool. I'm excited to be here. So, hi everyone. I'm Nick Bowater. I'm a professional financial coach, and I work with Rudy at Crossfield Financial. A little bit about myself. I have quick background. I'm married to a wonderful woman. Through God's grace, mercy, and peace, I have been blessed with her presence in my life. 43 years old, 5 kids. I just retired from the Air Force, 21 years, 9 months, 4 days. Not that I was counting. And I've the financial coaching journey has been one of a lot of mistakes, and then I was blessed to find a financial coach and guided towards them. And she changed my life as far as financially, the effect she had on my marriage. I was experiencing all those other all the stresses that everyone else goes through with money, with relationships, paying bills and going to debt and all those kinds of things. So I was really blessed to have a coach, and she led me to want to be a financial coach. That the life changing impact that she gave me, I was like, man, I want to give this to other people. I want people to feel what it is like to be debt free, to have this burden, all this anxiety and frustration and troubles just lifted off my chest. And it is, it's. I would dare to say, Liberty, it's like almost a spiritual experience, and made me
Mm.
such an impact that I want to become a financial coach myself. Uh, Went through all the training and was introduced to yourself through this coach, and you know, it's been a happy marriage ever since.
Yeah, fantastic, Nick. Thanks for that intro. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
So, Nick, before we really kind of jump into the meat of your powerful story, let's just have a little bit of fun for a minute. So, Nick, are you a coffee guy?
I am. I'm a deeply, deeply seated coffee person.
Deeply, deeply. Okay,
Need
gotcha.
it. I need it in my life.
So what's your go-to coffee order?
So we have a place called Thomas Hammer, and I'm not being paid by them at all. But they have a drink. It's called the El Diablo, and it is like a spicy. I would say like a spicy Mexican mocha. It's got a little jalapeno stuff in it, and that
Oh,
is my go-to. It's kind of spicy. There's about 4 shots of espresso in there, and a little bit of chocolate sprinkled in there, and it's all the food groups that I need in the morning.
wow. Okay, that's and Nick. I just have to ask because you're not a you're not a mamsy pamsy kind of guy, right? You're a macho, go get him kind of. Is this a foo drink, Nick? I
It's
just got
probably
to
the most
know.
It's probably the most frou-frou drink that I drink. Usually I just have black coffee, just, you know, strong and black,
Gotcha.
like my yeah, dark and black like my soul. But that frou-frou drink, I don't know, every time I go there, it's just like I got to get that. I don't haven't even tried any of their other coffee, but that one I just got it and I'm like, that's my go-to. But everywhere else I go, it's just black.
Gotcha. My go-to is a good spiced chai latte.
Ooh.
And it's really kind of hard to find a good one. I will have to say that Panera, although it's a mix, it's a really good spiced chai latte. But the places that I really appreciate are the ones that have just an eighth of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper that you get to add to it.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, man, love me some good.
Opens it up. Opens up.
So, Nick, let me ask you kind of another question here. So,
Sure.
if you could coach any historical figure, any
Ooh.
historical figure at all, who would you like to coach?
That's a good one. I feel like who would I jive with? There's a lot like I want to teach these people, but then also there's a lot to learn from the experience. Because as a coach, Rudy, like you're coaching somebody, but they're also like you're also learning from their experiences. You're
Right.
gaining knowledge. You're looking at life through their eyes, and some of their personality traits kind of rub off on you. I think the clients that I have, my favorite clients, well, they have that attribute. So I think someone with this like this killer instinct mindset, like if you think of an athlete like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, like those guys just have this mindset. It is once they set their mind to something, they achieve it. They lock onto it and they achieve it, and they fail again and again and again, but they never give up and they just keep going. And those are the clients that inspire me. So if I had to do
Yeah.
someone, I'd do someone. If I had to coach someone, it'd be somebody with that kind of that kind of mindset. And I think, I mean, Kobe Bryant comes to mind. Like, he's one of my favorite kind of historical figures. I would say. You
Yeah.
want to call him one of those?
Yeah.
NBA great. I think it'd be somebody like that. It'd be somebody with that mindset.
Yeah. That powerful mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really, really good. I love that. Okay, let's jump into your story specifically. And you're a little bit unique. This particular podcast is we are going to definitely interview our own coaches, but I'd love for you to share a little bit about your coaching journey as a coach here at Cross Shield, and you wanted to become a financial coach. What inspired you to really start pursuing that particular goal and dream for yourself?
That's a great question. So obviously, like I said before, I was going through all the financial strife that normal people go through,
Yeah.
and then is actually our accountant. Advised us to see a financial coach. I had no idea what that was, and I was like, "Coaching?
Oh,
What is
wow.
that?" No, I had no clue. And then, I'm familiar with Dave Ramsey. My father-in-law gave me his money makeover book, and I was reading it while I was in the hospital with my daughter. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I know a little bit about Ramsey." So yeah, I went to this coach, and she was amazing. Like I was like, I didn't know what I would get out of it. I didn't really know what it was. I kind of Googled coaching, and it seemed like wasn't a lot of data on it. There wasn't a lot of
Right.
like my wife's a therapist, so there's a lot of licensure stuff involved. Coaching wasn't like that, so I was like, interesting. I played sports my whole life, so I'm rarely interested in what a financial coach could do for me. And then when she laid it out, I was like, wow, that's amazing. I don't know if I could do that. And she's like, I believe in you. I bet you can. And I was like, you know what? I'll take you up on that. So I let go and I followed her, and I had to get over my mindset about the way I looked at debt, the way I looked at finances, the way I communicated
Mhm.
with my spouse about money, because it was a constant battle with between each other. Just we grew up differently with money, and all these experiences kind of was just like, wow, I never ever thought of that. I had started thinking deep thoughts about this, and then following her advice, and then with budgeting, the discipline, the gazelle intent. That again, like the Kobe Bryant killer mindset. You just locked onto it, and as time went by, and the discipline and the consistency, I was just like, wow. We paid off $135,000 of debt and counting,
Wow.
in about
Wow.
15 months,
I'm
and
sorry, how many months?
it's about 15-ish months.
135K you paid off in a
15 months.
year and 3 months, just so our audience understands the time frame and the volume of that.
Correct.
That was a
Correct.
major shift for you personally, but also
Massive.
being a financial coach, a professional financial coach, you you get to actually experience what that felt like, what that looked like, and going through all that. So, wow.
Absolutely, and it was a combination of paying off student loans, credit cards, stopped using the credit cards, and then, I really took a look at my lifestyle. Like, did I need an RV? Do I need an expensive truck to pull this RV? And I started doing the cost benefit analysis in my life, and I was like, it was very emotional to let go of my truck. I loved
Oh,
that thing. It was really hard to let
right.
go of the RV. It's like we kinda started doing the cost, benefit analysis, and I'm like, "Well, we can rent an RV every time we use it." I did, how many times we use it,
Yeah,
and then,
sure.
we rented it out on, a site called Outdoorsy, so we would kind of make some money back on it, but then it's like the hassle of it, and I had a couple of people ding it up, so I had to go get it fixed, and I was like, "Do I need this in my life?" And once I sold those 2 things, and then it freed up all of that, mm, residual money, or the not the residual money,
Yeah.
the margin in my budget, I was like, wow, and then I took that big chunk, just like this snowball, technique, put it on all my debts, and it was all the debts just it was like a domino effect. They just collapsed.
Mm.
They were going really quickly, and then, budgeting and really going through that, it was just, it was it's simple. I think, Dave Ramsey says it best, to being a millionaire, it's simple. It's just hard to do because
It's
of those
it's simple, but
principles.
it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
Because
It's
it's,
simple, but it's not easy.
yeah, it's embracing this powerful person mindset, right? And as you articulated the things that you and your wife, were talking about and considering doing, you looked at reality, Nick.
Mhm.
You looked at the reality of things. You had the RV, you had the truck, and yeah, they were great, assets. They were great things to work with, but you also were looking at, okay, we have goals. And having
Exactly.
these really neat assets, vehicles, all that, is that going to help us get us closer to our goals that we want? And you have some amazing goals, and I won't have you go into all that, but you have some really cool goals for you and your family. And you looked at it and you said, I'm going to deal in reality. I'm going to not let my feelings dictate what happens with the goals that we have.
Yeah.
And you actually live that out.
That
That's
was the
really,
hard
really powerful.
Thank you, Rudy. It wasn't just me alone, like, the accountability of my wife and a coach. I think that was the big difference, like, I think
Mm,
as human beings, we're very good at rationalizing our own opinions and our own
right.
actions, and to have someone with a very, firm but, caring hand. So as a coach, like, I got your back. You're my teammate, and one of the things that I've learned from a bunch of mentors in my life, and I think this is ingrained into my soul is, you never leave a teammate behind. You never ever give up on anyone, including yourself. And I think having that in a coach and having that in a spouse or an accountability partner is made the difference. And I think people underestimate the importance of that. Uh, a lot of the clients that I talk to, or the people that are they're not clients, but we talk to them about coaching and what we offer. I feel like that aspect of coaching is very undervalued, and I think that's what made
Mm,
the biggest difference. Because doing the money thing is not the hard part. That's like anyone can go Google it, and it's not in some tabernacle up in the mountains protected by monks, It's not some Jedi mind trick stuff. It's it's out there. It's the doing part. It's the accountability. It's being held to a certain standard and
right.
expectation that everyone else has on you, and that, man, that is the key to, I think, my success, is those accountability partners, not only in
Yeah.
my coach, but in my spouse. So she's been phenomenal in this journey.
Yeah, Nick, as a professional financial coach, and let me just ask you a little bit about that, because we use that terminology quite a bit here at CrossShield. Talk to our audience about what it means to be a professional financial coach from your perspective. You have your practice that's within inside the CrossShield ecosystem, but what does it mean to you to be a professional financial coach?
Hmm. I think, well, professionally, by definition, this is my job. You know, excuse me. Um, there's certain aspects that you hold yourself accountable to. There's certain standards that you hold yourself accountable to. And it is a business. It is building a reputation. It is acquiring the knowledge. It is, um, just building these relationships and building this clientele and taking your job seriously. Like, I don't play around. Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. And I don't like playing with other people's emotions. I don't like it when they do it to me, so I don't like doing it to them. So you have to take the consideration of the client, and it is a professional production, if you will. I'm just trying to think. That's a really good. There's so many avenues you can go down when you talk about it.
Well, let me maybe help a little bit out, and just for our audience. So, Nick, you identified it. This is your profession. This is your career. So it creates a high level of ownership, of accountability, not just for you, but also for the clients who choose to let you work with them to not only take back control of their money, but also to be able to build wealth. And this professionalism, it's very intentional. It's very ownership mindset. And it's also embracing a very strong, powerful mindset. You mentioned earlier the concept of, you know what, you're not satisfied with letting your clients not maintain a high level of accountability for the goals that they say they want, right?
Absolutely.
So what that looks like is it's this regular communication, it's feedback, it's making sure that the client that you're doing the things that you can do to help them meet those goals and objectives. I would say that all of us, we have a very complacent mindset for the most part. We don't really like, listen, change is hard, right? If I'm changing things with my money, with my finances, it requires work, and usually I'm not really excited about doing a whole lot of work because sometimes it's not a lot of fun. But if you as a coach, if you know that your client says, "Hey, this is what I want to accomplish. I'm highly motivated," but I haven't developed the skills, the muscle, the knowledge of things to be able to be effective with it. I want to bring in a professional financial coach. Number one, that has had experience with themselves. Two, that has experience with other clients, helping them be successful. Um, and I want to bring that person in to give me the biggest opportunity that I can to succeed with those. So,
No.
and you exhibit that flat out.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's an art. It is a skill that I do exercise and I want to hone it. And I think there's always that drive to be better. Like, what more can I offer my clients? How can I help them more? Like, I think building my knowledge pool, building my connections, building, just learning every day to make the experience that the client gets better and better and better. And I add more value to their life. And that's what I'm about. Like, I want to, I'm in this business to make changes in people's lives. Um, I always have this kind of joke with a financial planner, and people keep asking me, like, what's the difference between a financial planner and you? Like, why don't I just hire a financial planner to do this? And I was like, "Financial planners are awesome. I love one. I have one, and I work with them all the time." I was like, "But the financial planner," I was like, I always joke, I was like, "1, I can change your life quicker than your financial planner can. I can turn your life around so quickly, quicker
Yeah.
than he can, I promise you." Because most of my clients are, like, looking at, their retirement, and they're looking down the line.
Right.
Like, 1, I can change your life faster than he can, or they can. Second of all, um, I will make you the perfect client for your financial planner. He will love you after I'm done with you or while I'm working with you because
Tell us more about that, Nick. What does that mean, man? You just kind of like, what does that look like?
my brain just goes in these little dialogues. Uh, so a financial planner wants you, so they'll take your money and they'll deal with its behavior. I will deal with your behavior with your money. But once you get the money to invest, like, a lot of people don't have money to invest. They want to invest, they want to create a legacy, which is massive. And it's one of the reasons I turned my life around. Uh, they want to create that legacy, yet they don't have the margin. It's that age old question. Well, I don't have enough money to invest. I don't make enough money. I don't have enough. It's like, well, I'll prove you wrong, and I will make sure that you have enough money. So once you have that amount of
Mm,
money, you go to a financial planner, and you will constantly just keep putting money into your retirement account. So you're giving it to this person who's gifted in making your money make more money. But if you don't have that pool, if you don't have those assets to invest, you're never gonna create a legacy. So that's why, and I've had financial planners tell me this, and I've had referrals from financial planners like, "Hey, this client came to me. They're asking me how to create a budget, how to get out of debt. That's not really what I do, but that's what you do. So here, take this client, build them until they can consistently invest with me and never stop." And that's the kind of client that I create, and that's what I created in myself. So I
yeah.
know it can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're exactly spot on, because a financial planner or financial advisor, their primary job, like you said, is to help their client make money on the existing money that they have. So they get plugged into an investment strategy, some type of retirement strategy, possibly too. And what you're doing is you're helping your client get to the place with their money, with their finances, with their budget, making sure they have that fully funded emergency fund, having all the debt paid off so that when they're now at the place to start contributing into that plan, they never have to unplug.
No, it's an
And
amazing
it's
feeling.
so valuable for your clients, Nick. Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, building that legacy. People, when we do our goals and dreams session with them, which is the first session I always do with clients, I open up their brains and get them to dream. Like, what were you put on this earth to do? It's not pay bills. It's not a financially indentured servitude. It is it is whatever you want it to be. And when people figure out what their goals are, what their dreams truly are, like what did God put Nick Bowater on this earth to do? Once people figure that out, because they don't, a lot of people they don't dream anymore. They're like, I want to be wealthy. I was like, that's cool. Wealth is a tool to do what? What do you want to do with wealth? And I just want to be rich. I'm like, that's not. We need to think. We need to think. And when you
Yeah.
dig into people, I've had people cry. I've had people like when they come to this realization, when the switch goes on, and they get teary eyed. They're like, I never thought this was possible. This is what I want to do with my life. You know, I want to travel. Why do you want to travel? Because I like seeing places. I'm like, okay. And then it's like, I wanna go travel, see family. I'm like, "Okay, so you value that family relationship is big to you. That's what you want to do." It's the
Yeah.
travel or whatever is like a byproduct or a mode of transportation. It's not why you're here. You wanna build those
Yeah.
family relationships and keep those going because that's what you love doing. And, so once we figure out, like, "Hey, how do we build a lifestyle that accommodates that? How do we fund that? How do we use wealth as a tool to do that thing?" Once we figure that out, then the coaching starts. Well, I would argue the coaching starts with the goals and dreams, but, when the
Right.
actual numbers of the business starts,
Yeah.
once we tailor that plan to what you want to accomplish in your goals and dreams session, then people are just
Mm.
like, "I can do it." And you're like, "Absolutely, you can do it." And
Yeah.
when they realize that, and then you show them the when, I think you're gonna go there next. When you show them the when, they are blown away. Like, "Yeah, I can have all your debt paid off in 6 months. If you go by this schedule, you've built this, 6 months and, I put it into our little calculator. It's like, "You can be debt free in 6 months." And they're like, "What?" I've had clients pay trucks off, pay credit cards off, and they do the work. I make the plan, I extract the information out of them, we build the plan, I provide another, set of information, and then I just inject hope. And when they get that hope, people come alive. And that's what probably the biggest thing I love about coaching is I see that because I know
Yeah.
what it feels like. Somebody gave that to me. Somebody pulled me out of the darkness and showed me that. And I was like, man, if I could bottle that up and give it and sell it to people, I'd be a billionaire. Right.
Yeah. Well, I think you do every day when you work with your clients and help them see the possibility, the opportunity, which is what makes you such a powerful and professional financial coach. So, hey, Nick, let me ask you, related to your practice as a financial coach, what are some of the, I'll ask it this way, and then I'll kind of follow up with another kind of a different approach. But for you with your coaching practice, what are some of the money habits and strategies that you utilize when you're coaching with your clients? If you just give our audience just a little bit of a high level without getting into too much detail, just give our audience a little bit of a perspective about what makes you such an amazing professional financial coach.
Well, if you ask my clients, they'll tell you I'm the coach they may not be the coach they want, but I'm the coach they need. Um,
Ooh, yeah,
so so sometimes it's a good and a bad thing. Most of the time it's a good thing. And if you look at the results, it's a phenomenal thing. Um, so I think trying to really think about this. I think that sorry, kind of had a mind fart. What's the question? I kind of got on my little sidetrack here.
that's
Um,
okay. Go wherever you want to go, man. It's all
okay,
good. It's comfortable. Yeah.
so it is. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think what's important.
Let me kind of
So,
rephrase or
yeah,
reframe for
go
you.
rephrase it for me. Sorry, my mind went.
Yeah, no worries. So again, this is kind of for our audience that's watching this, that's listening, that's getting to know you, Nick, getting to know what a powerful coach you are. Um, Tell our audience a little bit about what the process looks like. Again, high level, right? So that if somebody's watching this, like, man, Nick seems like a really cool guy. I want to know a little bit more about what that looks like because, Nick, as you identified in the first part of this interview, um, financial coaching is a growing career choice. It's a growing industry. People are getting more familiar with what financial coaching actually does, but it's really unique from all the other coaching disciplines that are out there, right?
Yeah.
So for Coach Nick Bowater, what does kind of the process look like for one of our audience members? It's like, I'm kind of curious about what that is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So first of all, you pick up the phone, get onto my calendar, and book an appointment. Get in front of me. The conversation is where the powerful conversations is where your journey starts. So once we kind of get acquainted, we set an appointment. I'll sit there and do a consultation with you, find out what kind of makes you tick, where you want to go, your kind of your successes, some failures, where you struggle, where you've done good things. I kind of just get a very broad picture. I have a personal financial snapshot that we send out, so it kind of gives me the numbers portion of our consultation, and then when we actually speak for the hour, it's more of a personal. Like I need to get to know the behaviors that you're having, that you're exhibiting, or that affect your life, that run your life. These behaviors is where I think the work starts. From then on, we'll book our first session, and it's the goals and dreams, kind of like what I explained before. Once we have the goals and dreams session, and you want to become a client, we'll have an engagement agreement. And I always ask my clients to stick with me for 6 months at least. All right, let the process work. We'll meet twice a week. Sorry, twice a month. For the most part, twice a month through video conferencing, through Zoom, and then you'll have some homework at the end of every session, and you'll have full access to me as a coach, texting, emails. If you have questions halfway through the week, if you're struggling with a decision and you need like an answer, before our next appointment, they have full access to me the whole time. And then we'll have sessions, and during these sessions, I have a basic outline of what we're going to doing. But the thing I love about coaching with Cross Shield is that I get to meet the client where they are. I get to meet you where you are,
Mm,
and I don't have to. I don't. I'm not structured so much that I can't move outside of a certain guardrails. I can explore. Do you want to look at credit? I can explore this with you, and we can talk about it, and I can give you some knowledge and let you make the decision. And I get to meet you where you are. Like, if there's something that's pressing, I don't have to go on my structure. I can go straight to what you really want to do. And one of the things in between our sessions is called a mid-session update. So if there's something that you want to talk about specifically in our next session, you can fill it out, kind of give me the deets of what's going on, and then we can address it then and there in our session. So again, I get that freedom to go where you want to go as a client,
right.
and then I can kind of curtail it back in. It's like, hey, these are the building blocks that you need to be successful. So we're going to kind of follow this general rule, and I'm going to mold you with this, but I can also dart out and help you with pressing issues should they arise. There's a lot of
Fantastic. I agree. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
that wasn't brief at all. So
No, no, that's great. It just helps our audience have a little bit of a perspective as to kind of what that financial coaching process looks like. Um, I know our audience is also, asking the question in their minds. Gosh, well, what does this thing cost? And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think it's an important question because
it
again,
is.
this industry is, it's a growing industry, and so we want to be able to give the audience viewers a little bit of perspective about that type of thing too. So, can you speak to that a little bit about what your services look like from an investment standpoint from the client?
Yeah, I like how you use that word investment. So this is what I need people to realize is that you're investing in your future. I promise you that when you invest in your future, it pays dividends. Like investments pay dividends back. It's like your money making money. These behavioral changes will pay dividends in your life. So when I tell people, what their investment is, I really mean it. Like this is an investment. This is not like a bar tab where
Right.
you pay a fee and then you drink all night and then that's it. There's nothing to take home with you but a hangover. You know, sorry, just go straight to booze. It's a military person in me coming out. So
Yeah.
it's something that keeps giving you, and it's something you could pass on to your kids, your uncles, your aunts. You can spread this knowledge and wealth and what you've learned. So when we talk about investment, it is an investment, and I have a scale, pretty much depending on how labor intensive a client can be. Sometimes they need to meet me more than twice a month. Sometimes they only need to meet me once a month because they've got the general gist of it, and I only need to make slight tweaks to their financial way of life. So
Mhm.
I arrange. I start at 525 a month, and that is billed every month uh, whenever our engagement starts, and that is pretty much the like I explained before. I meet twice a month. You have full access to me all the time. We also have a coaching portal where we work through. So we'll set homework. We can set metrics. We can message each other in between us. We have all of our documents. We have 36 points. Um, if you will, and we go work through them constantly. So it's not only just building budgets and talking
Mhm.
about how you spend your
Right.
money. There's so much more to it. And again, through our consultations, I'll show you these products. So you have access to all of those things as well as full access to me uh, in our video chats twice a month. It can
Yeah,
go up.
fantastic.
Yep. It
Oh,
can go
sorry, go
up
ahead.
from that if you're a little
Yeah.
more labor intensive. Um, and then we also have a maintenance kind of once you've been with me for 6 months and you're like, "Okay, I kinda got this. I can take the training wheels off a little bit, and I can kinda pursue this on my own a little bit more," but I still want that accountability. I still want, um, the knowledge. I still want access to the tools that we've been using for the last 6 months. I have once a month consultation, a once a month, session, full access still, and that's, 315 a month. So those are kind of the 2 price guides, and again, we all discuss it, we have agreements, we walk through 'em, so there's no hidden fees, there's no gotchas, it's all there in front of you, and we sit there and we talk about it, walk through the journey together.
Very, very cool. So, you talked a little bit about kinda how so the value of the investment really is based on what the client wants to accomplish, the time frame that they, want to accomplish those things in, obviously the level of work. So it's very personalized, it's very custom to their
Absolutely.
specific need and what they have. And, what if you have a client so Nick, is everyone a good client, I'll just say it that way, for the style and the level of financial coaching that you provide. And if they're not necessarily a great fit for timing, whatever it may be, are there other options that you provide for them to be able to assist them, maybe until they are ready for this one-on-one coaching with dedicated professional financial coach Nick Bowater?
Yeah, uh, glad you said that. So there is such thing as a client that is not a very good client, and, I'll let them know pretty much immediately, if we vibe. So there's quitters, which I'm not a big huge fan of, and excuse me for a second. Oh my gosh. Okay, out, son. I'll be there in a second, buddy. Sorry, that's one of the drawbacks of having a home office is sometimes you get a
Yeah,
little
no
visitor in the
worries.
back here.
It's
Um,
all it's all good. Yeah.
um, yeah, so yes, so clients that give up on themselves, And 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 I don't let you quit on yourself. I will do my darndest, and I'm pretty good at this. I've been doing it for 21 years as an instructor to getting people to that positive mindset and getting that switch. So it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes people just get so overwhelmed and have a lot of anxiety, and they quit, they ghost, and they just disappear. Um, I don't do this for to take people's money, so if someone doesn't perform, is not doing the work, and it's struggling and it's draining, and, like, I'll end the engagement, and, yeah, I don't need your money that bad that I'm gonna milk it, so, like, again, I can't do that in good faith. That's not who I am. So I will let that client know, and if there's absolutely no way to reconcile them and get them up to the standard I need them to be successful, I'll disengage that. For people that have, budget constraints, I do have a group financial counseling coaching, sorry. That's a 199 a month, and that's a 12-week program, so it's 3 months, and we will meet every week for an hour, and they'll have homework as well, and I will go through in a group setting, and we'll talk about, again, certain things that make healthy budgets, that make someone financially successful, and how we work towards, legacy and, financial freedom. That's a really good course. I get a lot of people that who aren't really sure about the individual coaching, and then they want to see kind of what it's about before they step into the individual coaching. A lot of people go from that group financial coaching. They're like, we want this, but we want it tailored. That's the only thing I don't have the ability to do in a group setting is tailor everything towards you. Um, and that's one of the best benefits of individual coaching because it's exactly about you. It's your plan and no one else's. And then
Love
also
that.
we do
Oh,
the
go ahead.
FPU, the Financial Peace University. Uh, through if you have a Dave Ramsey membership, we at Cross Shield we host and act as guides through there. We put our Cross Shield kind of spin, not spin. We have a platform where we're Cross Shield financial coaches, and we are actually guiding your Financial Peace University. A lot of those people were like, "Hey, I love it." They get a taste for it, and like, I want coaching because Financial Peace University gives you a very good foundation on what to do to be successful. So we just grow upon that in individual uh, individual coaching. I will say this right before we go on, Rudy, that a lot of people they they might balk at when they hear what the investment is to them. They balk a little bit, and I always promise them, and I've never ever been wrong. I will find in your budget. I will find money uh, to make you afford this. I've had clients that make hardly anything that find a way, they prioritize their financial future and they make it work and they make next to nothing. And then I've had people who balk at it and who make 400,000 a year and just have zero idea what to do with money. They're brilliant
Yeah.
at what they do. Doctors, lawyers, some of them are actually financial planners. They just don't have
The discipline. Yeah.
it's the discipline and it's the
Yeah.
behaviors. Like, they know what to do, but there's
Right.
the behaviors thing, and I
Right.
swear once they see what we can do as financial coaches, they know that I'm on their team, I'm working with them, I'm never gonna let them fail. I promise you, like, I will not let you fail. You just gotta follow the directions that we're going and be true to yourself and be consistent and disciplined. I'll do the cheerleading the whole way there, and you will
Yeah.
be successful. So I always stress to people, I'm like, "The future you is never gonna regret hiring me as a financial coach, I promise."
Fantastic. Yeah, love it. Well, Coach Nick, man, thank you for sharing your story, your insights, and your heart with us today and our audience. Wow, I love the conversation, what you do. It's clear that you embody the Cross Shield mission of helping people unlock their potential and achieve their dreams. So, to our audience and our listeners, we have today's conversation with Coach Nick. Felt you feeling inspired, encouraged, and ready to take the next steps on your own journey to greatness. Remember, every big dream starts with one small decision. And Coach Nick is here to help you make that happen. So you're going to find the information about Coach Nick in the description for this link. Thank you for tuning in to this episode 103 of the Powerful People, Powerful Stories podcast. If you have enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Your support helps us continue to bring powerful stories just like Coach Nick's to life. I'm Rudy Upshaws, CEO of Cross Shield. Until next time, stay bold, stay disciplined, and remember, you are powerful beyond measure. Catch you on the next episode. Take care. Thanks, Coach Nick.
Alright. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, Rudy. Thanks.